Be a perfect Monday. We're kicking it off.
We're glad you did make some time for us, and so we do want to start things in the kitchen this morning.
Yeah, and we are starting things off in the kitchen right now. Joining me now is Executive Chef. This is Jon Mortimer from Venues Cafe in Carefree. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Doing just fine. Welcome to Sonoran Living. It's your first time here.
First time?
Don't mess it up.
I won't.
No pressure. We're making a couple of sandwiches today. You guys have a lot of things on your menu, but I thought we'd do something since a little early in the morning just to sort of transition us right into lunchtime. What are you going to make for us?
Well,
first?
I'm going to make a couple sandwiches off the new menu. We have a new menu coming out that is both lunch and dinner on the same menu. You come in, get anything you want, anytime you want, and these are a couple of the great sandwiches off it. This is a sandwich that's been following me around for a while now.
Okay.
And it starts with a great piece of salmon. I'm going to put a little bit of arugula on there. If that's a little too strong, you know, some people, too much flavor there. I got a little butter lettuce just in case.
So you wouldn't do both? You do one or the other?
Well, you could do both if you'd like.
What do you do?
I really prefer the arugula.
Okay, I'll
Tastes
try
great,
that then.
peppery, fresh, alive. It's great, great, great flavor. Got a little bit of cheese there. I'm going to melt onto the bread. But you know, like with any sandwich, we have all these nice ingredients, beautiful piece of salmon and so forth, and then people kind of discount the bread.
Right.
I hate to see that. So we've got some great bread here. We've got a 9-grain bread and some baguette. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is which bread to use for which. We're going to do a chicken salad later.
Right. I would think the chicken salad would go on the 9-grain.
It really will, and then, but it'll also, because of the texture and so forth of it, it'll go well on the baguette. But if I put that salmon in the middle of the baguette and I take a bite, we've all had the sandwich where it just squirts everything out.
Exactly.
And that's not very fun. So we're going to go ahead and use this 9-grain bread for this.
Okay.
I'm going to take a couple slices off of that. And one of the things about bread and buying bread is that a lot of times, if you buy a whole loaf, you'll get a fresher slice of bread out of it. Now, a lot of people don't like to slice bread, but come on, it couldn't be that hard, right?
Exactly. I just think, you know, we just get used to our routine.
We do.
Yeah, I never go buy fresh bread. I just buy it in the bag and lasts for a week, and there you go.
There you go.
So we're going to heat up the bread?
So we're gonna kind of toast it. We're gonna do kind of a grilled cheese sort of thing to it. I'm gonna take a little bit of butter, and if you want to avoid the butter here, I also have some olive oil. And I'm not going to use a lot, just, you know, enough to kind of brown it up.
Where do you guys get your bread from, or do you make it?
Well, a combination of places. This is La Brea bread, which is pretty popular in all the restaurants. And we just go ahead and it comes to us par-baked, and then we just finish it off in the oven. That's a great way to go, too.
Okay. Now, for timing's sake, did you already get one started
Well, I did
us?
get one started for you, and on the far side here, you can see I've got it nice and golden brown. Now, what I usually do is I go ahead and get that side nice and crispy, and then I just take it and I throw it in the oven from there.
Okay. What's the secret
Finish
to
it up.
getting it crispy? Just putting it on the...
Well, a nonstick pan's helpful.
Okay.
Because then that keeps it from sticking to the pan, which nobody likes. We call it a pan weld in the restaurant, and that's never fun. Just laying it on one side, a little bit of oil. I'm just using some olive oil here, and no flour, no nothing. Basically, you're caramelizing the sugars that are in that piece of salmon, and that's what gives you that nice brown, crispy coating.
Okay.
Watch your heat, not too hot. Just kind of in the middle, about 350 degrees. And a great trick, too, of those griddles that you can set to 350 degrees,
Right.
you know. Those are great.
Like for pancakes, the pancake griddles?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
those are great,
Pull
especially
that
if you're
out for
making a
something
bunch of
else.
these sandwiches.
Now,
They
how
work
long are we
real
going to
well.
keep the salmon in there for?
It just take a few minutes. I like my salmon kind of opaque in the middle still, just a little bit of, you know, life left in
Okay.
it. But if you like it cooked through, that's
Can
up
we
to you.
put this together now?
We sure can.
Okay, and while you're sort of putting it together, we'll watch. Tell me about Venues Cafe. You guys are up on Easy Street, which I love the name Easy Street in Carefree.
34 Easy Street in Carefree. You know, I moved down here. I was living in Carefree. I was driving to the resort to go to work every day, and I started asking myself, why am I leaving Carefree every day? It just doesn't make any sense.
So did you move to Carefree?
I did.
Yeah,
Well, I've
it's
lived
beautiful.
there and ran into Catherine, who I think you know, and Al, and they were looking for a chef. And
You lucked out.
Yeah, I did.
So you guys have, you guys are open until late.
Yeah, well, pretty much right now we're open at 11 for lunch through till 11, 12, you know, whenever people kind of stop coming.
Right, that's when they close the doors.
Yep.
When you're done, they're done.
When you're done, we're done. And we're going with a new menu, which has both lunch and dinner on it. So from 11 in the morning till late at night, you can get a salmon sandwich, you can get a ribeye steak, you can get anything in between. So it works out pretty well.
And you serve
for
food
everybody.
until what time?
We serve food until 11 or 12 on the weekdays,
Okay.
and midnight or later on the weekend.
All right.
So once I have that bread toasted up, that's all I'm looking for really there.
Okay.
Sometimes if you want your cheese melted, actually that filet will probably melt that cheese pretty well for you. Now I'm not going to slather this in mayonnaise. I know you know a lot of people kind of like that, but I've got my olive oil on my piece of fish here, and that's enough for me. I've
What
got
kind of
my
cheese
cheese
are you
there.
using? Is
That's
that a brie?
Manchego cheese.
Okay.
Manchego. And it's
Is
kind
that-
of a medium creamy, medium flavored cheese.
So it's
and
not
then-
too strong?
Nope, not too strong.
Okay.
And so just a few of my
Oh, look at that. That
arugula
looks
here.
beautiful.
I got some tomato slices here. Romas have been great lately. Get great tomatoes down here at this time of
That
year.
looks gorgeous.
And then
Any
all I
mustard?
need is a lid.
Or you don't do mustard?
You can put mustard on it or whatever. What I've actually got here that I wanted to show off is some kind of opportunities to get rid of the fat. This is a carrot puree with a little bit of curry in it.
You know what? Let's save this and talk about this when we come back.
Absolutely.
It looks like mustard.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what this is. And this is done. We'll slice it up. We'll show you how great it is. And we'll talk to Joe a little bit more about Venues Cafe. And then we're going to make Catherine's chicken salad sandwich. That's the one I'm excited about.